We're official. We're
We
so
are
official.
so good.
Welcome back to the Dippidi Deep Dive Podcast. I'm very excited to be here. I'm your host, co-founder of Dippidi, Austin St. Jean, joined by my good friend here, Brian Hamawi. Brian, how are we?
What's going on, buddy? Excited to be here again another week. Some good content today, a really cool topic.
Yes, yeah, I think so. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Google Ads for real estate agents, when they work, when they don't work, and why. So we're going to be diving in here, really wanting to give some value to agents in the industry to really fully understand the difference of Google, how it can be beneficial in your advertising strategy to generate leads and ultimately get new business. So we're going to dive in here. Brian, if you could, for anybody that's interested whatsoever, go ahead and like, subscribe, everything like that on this channel. We're going to be talking on marketing nonstop for real estate agents. And if you have any interest or need further help, whether you want service, coaching, whatever, down here in the description below is avenues for you to be able to take on some of that. So before we get it going, Brian, what are we talking on? What are some of these questions looking like?
Man, I think, today's topic is a huge topic. Everybody knows about Google. And if you don't know about Google, you're living on a different planet.
Yes.
So, Google is literally everything when it comes to marketing. They own so many different platforms. But today, what I really want to do is I want to hone in on Google Ads. And so what I think a lot of agents misunderstand is running Google Ads and then saying, why isn't this working? What's going wrong? So why don't you explain to us a little bit about Google Ads? And when agents say it's not working or it's going wrong, what does that mean? What are they doing?
Yeah, like most things, it's boiling down to if your Google ads are not working and you feel they're not working, it's probably your strategy. So, when it comes to Google search ads, a lot of people come to us at Dippidi and ask a million different things. One, can you give me buyer leads? Can you give me seller leads? Can we do agent attraction and recruiting? The things that we find most successful when it comes to running Google ads and getting an ROI is going to be property search ads, meaning people looking for homes for sale in a specific city, neighborhood, zip code, area, and driving them to an IDX page on your website to something that is relevant of their search. So if they look for, homes for sale in Hyde Park, Tampa, they need to be driven to a landing page on your IDX of websites in Hyde Park, Tampa. Make sure you immediately have a pop-up coming up to capture that leads info. If you're going the route of like home value and wanting to get seller leads, then you need to drive to a home value page. The thing that people don't realize, though, is that can get more expensive when it comes to bidding on keywords for sellers. Or some people will want to get in front of people looking specifically for a real estate agent. Those can be the most costly keywords when it comes to Google. You could spend anywhere from $40 to $80 per click, not lead, but click. And so a lot of people tap out on their budget just because they simply can't afford to play the numbers game to get the amount of clicks to eventually get a lead and snowball into a deal. So when people are saying it doesn't work, there's a lot to it. One, what's not working? Are you getting a low click-through rate, meaning your ad copy isn't relevant to what people searched? Are you getting high cost per lead, meaning the click to lead captured? Because that would say your lead capture form is probably not doing well. Are you capturing leads at a great volume, but you're not converting them? If that's the case, what's your follow-up system look like on the back end? So ultimately, when people say it's not working and what's going wrong, it boils down to the strategy, and it's somewhere along the lines of ad copy compared to the keyword, landing page, or the follow-up process, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I guess I'm going to follow up. I'm going to go a little bit off track on our lineup of questions here. But so how important is it when you're setting these type of things up to have a CRM that has IDX feeds into it? Because, you keep talking about IDX pages and landing pages, and then you've got to have a form. Are agents really, when you're optimizing this, should you be working with a CRM to be able to drop that type of information in there? Is that the optimal way to set this up?
100%. If you're planning to run Google ads and you're thinking, do I need a CRM? The answer is yes. Because what happens is you're going to generate a volume of leads, whether let's say you're spending $500 a month on Google ads and you generate 15 to 50 leads a month. Well, even 15 is a pretty good volume coming in to where you might slip through the cracks of who you've talked to, who you haven't talked to. Have I even attempted contact this person? Did I text them? Did I email them? How did I go about this process? And the CRM is going to give you that light to be able to see clearly what you've been doing with each and every lead, as well as like when you connect with these leads, it could take 3 to 6 months before they're actually going to see homes and go on showings. And so you might forget who you spoke to in that time frame. And that's why you can leave notes in the CRM. You can see all the activity in the CRM. So yes, long-winded answer is yes, you should absolutely have a CRM if you're planning to run any paid advertising at all.
Okay. So I guess this takes me into the next question, which is, what's the biggest difference between Google Ads and running ads on Facebook or Instagram? Because there's so many different mechanisms, right? How would you tell people what is the biggest difference between those so that they can understand where they should be placing their money?
Yeah, Google versus Facebook ads. Here's kind of what the difference looks like in a nutshell. Google is I call it Google and Facebook push and pull. Facebook, you're pushing content to a news feed. You're trying to see if you can captivate them, get them to feel compelled by your ad creative, stop their scroll, feel compelled, qualify them by copy, and then click and take action. Google's a little bit different. It's a pull. The reason it's a pull is that they're actively typing in search keywords and looking for something, and you're pulling them in based on what they searched. So Facebook and Instagram is called disruptive style, where Google is going to be more so a search engine marketing platform. They're looking for something specific. You're delivering a relevant result in the feed of the search results, and you're trying to get them to click. You're paying per click. Facebook and Instagram, you're really more so paying for impressions and reach, and you're hoping they click and engage with it. So not necessarily cost per click, more so, hey, if you give Facebook $100, you give Google $100, Google's trying to put you in front of the keywords people are bidding on. Facebook's trying to push it out in front of the audience you want to target and see how they engage with it.
Do you see higher volume in one over the other?
Yes, absolutely. So when it comes to lead volume between Google versus Facebook, you're typically, depending on how you set these ads up, because some people do it incorrectly, but you're typically going to see more volume come from a Facebook ad versus a Google ad. And the reason being for that is like simply the you get a lot more looky-loos. People just were struck up by the photos that they saw before they fill out the info. Google is a bidding system. So like your cost per click on Google can be way more. We're running an ad right now to our new school community, and we're on Facebook and Instagram. We're getting like 10 cents a click. Wow. On Google, getting 10 cents a click doesn't happen very often. Yeah. You're more than likely going to be $1, $2, maybe even potentially $3 per click on a buy side campaign of people looking for properties. So that can play into the volume game of, if I'm driving 17 cents a click, $1, call it 10 cents for easy math, I'm getting 10 times the amount of traffic from Facebook and Instagram versus Google, but the quality of the traffic can sometimes be lower on Facebook and Instagram versus Google, depending on the campaigns you're running.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. So when real estate agents, because we're specifically talking, and I think it's awesome what you guys are doing with school as well, because I mean, there are so many questions, there's so much content and so much learning that needs to happen. And you guys are basically creating this incredible community to be able to grab all of this content that we're actually doing on this podcast now, but you're taking all of that content, you're going to put it into school and be able to give tools and all of this kind of stuff to real estate agents at very discounted pricing. So a lot of strategy. If you guys haven't looked into it, super cool. But so if you're a real estate agent and you're thinking about running ads, especially specifically on Google, what makes sense from a lead generation strategy? How should they be thinking about it?
Yeah, so I would say Google, when it comes to Google Ads as a lead generation strategy for your real estate business, this is really how you should be thinking about it. You need to look at it as a way to build your pipeline. Of course, your past clients in Sphere are going to be your highest ROI lead source. But what happens when that pipeline runs dry? Do you have other lead sources available? Are you investing in Zillow leads? Are you investing in realtor.com leads? Like, you're putting your money somewhere to get other lead sources, I'm assuming. And if not, you really should be. Yeah. And so Google's a great route for that, because with Zillow and realtor.com, one thing they're doing, they drive mass traffic. They're huge platforms. But all they do when you're investing in there is they're actually taking the money that you're investing in your per lead cost, and they're going and running Google ads and Facebook ads and generating leads from those as well, that they're just taking and flipping to you. So when you run Google ads, the strategy should be this: building up a pipeline of people who are actively searching for homes in your market, and knowing that you're kind of like cutting out a little bit of the middleman per se when it comes to the platforms just flipping it back to you. So you're now driving your own exclusive leads through your IDX website, and there's not a lot of channels in which you can do that on. Google, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram are kind of the like social media channels and search engines that a lot of people are doing that with. So when it comes to the lead generation strategy, view it as the initial touch point to drive and build your database. Now, once you get them in your database, it's up to you to be able to convert that into an actual opportunity. So therefore, you need to have other things in place for marketing automation, AI. There's different things that can help you be more efficient on the follow-up. But when it comes to the strategy itself, view it as a database builder of turning strangers into leads.
Very interesting. So what point could this actually be a poor first move for real estate agents? Like, you're giving us the tools on things that you should be doing as a real estate agent, how to implement it, but there are real estate agents that just aren't ready to set this up. And I think that's like, first and foremost, are you prepared to take on these leads? And because there's an expense behind it, right? So if you're going to spend money generating leads, if you're going to pick Google Ads, you've got to have the setup to do this. Otherwise, you're just throwing money out the window and you're never going to see that money come back.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. So when it comes to like what situations Google Ads would be a poor decision for real estate agents to make an investment in, it would definitely be if you do not have your foundational things in place. Do you have an IDX website? Do you have a CRM? Do you have an ad budget? Like, you can do, I think, $1 a day, but like, what is $1 a day really going to do in terms of generating leads? Not much. So you do really need to have some money set aside to invest in the ad spend itself. And then what ends up happening is there is a learning curve. And so Google does a great job of, like, when I say great job, right when you set up a Google ad account, they like help you build a smart campaign. That smart campaign is not necessarily molded around doing what you actually want, and that's driving people to the IDX based upon searches of them looking for homes for sale, and then filling out the form on your website to generate that lead. They set up these smart campaigns for you to be able to feel like it's easy to set up an ad, and it is easy to set up an ad, but it's harder to set up an ad correctly. And so that's where some agents will reach out to agencies like Dippidi and say, hey, can you just do this for me? And we absolutely can, with a cost in mind, right? So we're going to manage your ads, but there are other routes now with like school where we have the ability to show you courses and really teach you how to set up a correct Google ad, Facebook ad, YouTube, whatever it may be, really understand how to do so. So that way you're doing it correctly. And what's also great in that school, not to, I guess this is a soft plug, but it's like, if you join that, it's $39 a month, and literally you learn how to do Google ads. And then, like, maybe as you're doing them, you're kind of getting stumped. We have an implementation call that you're able to book on there, where we literally will help build the ad campaign with you. And as it's running, maybe you want to see how it's doing, you schedule another implementation call. We'll review the data with you as well. So you can make poor choices by running Google ads if you don't have an understanding of it, because just like Brian said, if you don't have the foundational things structured, you are literally taking cash. It's going out pretty quickly because you set up a daily ad spend and you're just blowing it to the wind. So make sure you have your foundational things in place, and make sure you have a good understanding of like the structure that there needs to be to run these Google ads successfully.
Yeah, and I mean, if agents aren't super comfortable with all of this as well, you've got the option of joining teams that actually do a lot of these campaigns too. And if you've got the right team in play, whatever situation you're in, it's one of the first questions that I would ask a real estate team. Are you guys running ads? What platforms are you using? Are you on Google? Do a little bit of research on the company itself. And then don't be afraid to ask whether or not, if you have an area that you want to target, whether the team would be willing to do some collaborative stuff with you. For example, our team, I know that once we start to target an area, if there's an agent that wants to do some work there, we'll always collaborate with that team member, keeping in mind that if we generate the leads, we have the expectation that you're going to follow up with them and try to convert them, as much as we possibly can. We have the systems in play. We have to, right? So it's one of the value propositions of a team, that we have leverage over just independent agents. We have a budget, we have systems in place, we have landing pages, we have robust CRMs, and then we have companies like Dippidi that come in and help us execute the whole entire program so that real estate agents don't have to rely on figuring that out by themselves.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's because it can be complex, right? You either have the option of paying an agency to do it for you, joining a team that's already doing it, or learning yourself. And so that can become, what route do you have? No, you're good. Do you got more time than money, or do you have more money than time? And so that kind of helps you determine what avenue you want to take.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so if you were to talk about searches and keywords, which ones do you think actually produce the best results?
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to producing good results on keywords, specifically on Google search ads, these are probably your lower hanging fruit. One, you can focus on niches within the search. So like new construction can do well, right? Like somebody looking for new construction homes for sale in a specific city is going to be different than somebody that just types in homes for sale Tampa. Homes for sale Tampa is very broad. So therefore they could be looking at any and everything under the sun, right? Where that is a cheaper cost per click, but your quality might be not there in terms of the lead quality because it's so broad. Where somebody that actively searches for, homes for sale in Wellness Ridge in Claremont, Florida, they already did the research to know that they want it in Wellness Ridge. So if you bid on keywords like Wellness Ridge, Claremont, Florida, you're now getting in front of people who already know this community and are looking for homes for sale there. Maybe when they come through that IDX, they were, kind of led by Wellness Ridge, but realistically, they're just looking for new construction communities like Wellness Ridge. So when you capture that lead, maybe the perfect home is not there in Wellness Ridge right now, but you now know, all right, this is at least a new construction potential buyer, and I can take them into this property, this community, whatever. So when it comes to getting like search terms, you can go broad if you're like wanting to play more of a volume game, or you can go a little bit more niche, which is where I think you'll find your quality, which is, neighborhoods, sub areas around the city, or even like community based searches around new construction.
Yeah. So you're suggesting doing a lot of the new construction type of thing. You have to piggyback on these things, right? Where you see new construction, not only is there a lot of content probably being delivered and put out in the marketplace, but those builders themselves are adding a lot of marketing dollars to that area. So it's getting in front of buyers, it's getting in front of sellers as well, contemplating potentially either moving up or moving down, downsizing their properties. And so if you're looking for specific areas where people are doing searches, try to piggyback off of those areas that you're going to see new development. And if you get on early enough, you can beat some of the big heavy hitters as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, new construction is one niche you can go down, but like there's some people that are like, all right, I want to focus on downsizers. So
Yeah.
these are people that already have a home for sale, or sorry, they already have a home to be able to be sold, and they're just looking to kind of move downsize. You can bid on keywords for 55 and up communities for sale in Lakeland, Florida,
It's
and try
such
to
a big
find
market.
people. It's a whole different segment of a market, but those people looking for 55 and up, if they're local, they're more than likely downsizing. So meaning they got to sell that house first before they move into the 55 and up community.
Hmm.
And then another thing is like it is neighborhoods. So like for example, I always bring up Hyde Park in Tampa. Cleveland Heights is an area within Lakeland. There's just different neighborhoods that people might be searching. Dixieland Historic District in Lakeland, homes for sale in Dixieland, Lakeland. That's different than just homes for sale Lakeland. They're looking in a specific area within Lakeland that you can try to help service and find them a home in. So those like neighborhood, community, segmented kind of long tail keywords are going to help bring better quality when it comes to the keywords you're selecting.
If you guys aren't sure what you should be marketing to, if you're looking for a niche specifically, it doesn't even have to be communities. It could be something that you're into. Niche down. If you're into athletics, for example, a lot of people are moving to a lot of these lifestyle communities where there's biking and there's trails and tennis and basketball and all of this kind of stuff, and people are doing very specific searches on those. But if you're not sure about what kind of client you're trying to attract, reach out to Austin, reach out to myself. I'm happy to sit with you on a call, try to figure out, what areas make sense for you to be marketing in. And you don't have to start big. It doesn't have to be this massive, broad, I want to do entire of Central Florida. You can pick very specific areas, hone in on them, and become that local expert on those. But, you also have budgets that you've got to think through. So Austin, when real estate agents are thinking about their budgets and how to run this, what should be an expected budget when you're running Google Ads, specifically for real estate? And this might vary by territory, but what should they expect to be spending every month if they're thinking about running Google Ads?
Yeah. So budget is always the craziest question because somebody's like, well, what should I spend and how many leads can I expect? And it's like, well, I don't want to tell you to spend $10,000 a month if you can't afford to lose it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, what you're doing when it isn't guaranteed. But just to play some numbers games out, let's just say you did $500 a month. You multiply that by 12, that's $6,000 a year you spent in ad spend. And let's say that you generated leads for $25 a lead. That means that you're generating from $500 a month, 20 leads a month. That's 240 leads a year. If you were to just close 1% of those leads, that would be 2.5 leads. We'll call it 2 to 3. If your average price point in your market is $350,000, that's $875,000 in gross commission sales. You break that down, that's 131,000. Sorry, did I do that incorrectly? 875 volume. It's if your commission was like 15%, you're at
your commission would
131,000. So you divide that by 6,000, you're getting a massive ROI. 21x. So I mean, it really just depends on when it comes to budget and expectations, knowing that just because I spent $500 this month. Yeah, go ahead.
I think those numbers are wrong.
Let me crank this out one more time. I'm just all right. I love it.
2.5 times 2.5 times 350,000 is about 874,000. But then your commission is 2.5% of 875,000.
Thank you.
Is about, I think it's about $9,000.
Yes, there we go. 21,000 is what it is. 21,000 divided by 6. Yeah, not a 21x, but a 3.6x, which is more realistic.
131,000 all day.
Yeah. My thoughts being this: For $500 a month, you're not going to get a 3x return on ad spend in month one.
Yeah.
It's better to look at it from an annual standpoint, semi-annual if you want. Even though I'll take a 21x ROI all day. 3.6 though is very, very, very good. There's not many vending machines out there that you can put $1 in that spit out $3.60. So
here's the beautiful part about that is those leads at some point, and I say this to our team all the time, are thinking about moving. Every person on the face of this earth is thinking about moving, and the ones that are engaging are thinking about moving. So today may not be the day that they're going to buy or sell a property with you. The exercise is get in front of the people that are thinking about it today, get them closed, but you need to follow up on the rest of those leads. So again, it goes back to that whole setup and the automation, which Austin knows how to do really well. And maybe at a future, one of these future episodes
absolutely.
we can do is how to set up the automations, your landing pages, and all of this kind of stuff. But it really, you want that automation. You want AI to constantly be in touch with those people that have reached out to you because you've put content in front of them. They're reaching out to you. Now it's your job to follow up with them and at some stage help them through that closing process.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, a few different things. You said, can we do a video on, how to do these things? That's what's in the school. So you have courses in there. You have live trainings. You have so many different things in there. So definitely consider the school. Check it out in the description below. But I think the big thing on the budget question is when it comes to expectations, play a semi-annual to annual basis. So look at how much you're willing to spend on the year for leads and then break that down by monthly so you know your monthly ad budget, and then assess it on a semi-annual or annual basis of what your return on investment looks like. Because if you're going in like, all right, I'm going to do $500 this month, I can almost guarantee you won't convert one lead in 5 with just that initial month. It has happened. We have case studies on our website about it, but it is not the expectation you should have.
Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about budgets. We've talked about a little bit about the expectations. What is the biggest mistake you're seeing real estate agents make right now when they're managing Google Ads by themselves?
Let's say that you set up your ad campaign correctly. You have conversion tracking set up right. So that way, when somebody goes through that lead form, you're good to go. You have your keywords selected. I think when it comes to managing their Google ad campaign that's already running, let's say it was set up perfect. It is, are you blocking time once a week to review the search terms that are populating in your campaign to make sure that they are relevant to what you want to be in front of? And if they are not, are you adding negative keywords in so that way you don't populate for those irrelevant searches any longer? And then also, are you making sure that the lead flow is working correctly? We do like lead flow checks to make sure that when somebody captures the lead, it flows into the CRM because integrations can break. So just like at least on a weekly basis, making sure search terms look good, you're adding new keywords based on those, you're adding negative keywords based on those, and that your leads are actually flowing into the CRM. You'd be shocked that if agents didn't have us doing lead flow checks and they were just letting it happen, how many times that breaks occur where you have to go reconnect the integration. And if they didn't see that for a month, 2 months, 3 months, their leads aren't flowing into their CRM, and meaning they're just burning cash. So those are some of the mistakes we see happen a lot, is adding new keywords and reviewing the search terms, negative keywords, and making sure leads are flowing into the CRM.
Okay. And so those are all really good tips, but what if you want to improve your lead strategy today, your Google ad performance? What's the first thing that they should do, and what's the first thing that they should be fixing inside of their platform?
Yep. So that's a loaded question and a tough one because there's a million scenarios of how to fix different situations.
Yeah.
But going into the route of increasing your ad performance today. Search terms, negative keywords are going to be huge. Making sure you're targeting the correct places. Make sure your copy is relevant. I mean, it is a loaded question of different scenarios.
Yeah.
You want to, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. If you want to improve your Google ad performance today, go sign up for the 7-day free trial for the school, and we'll make sure you get doctored up properly.
That's awesome. Well, I think that's it for Google Ads today. Such good content, Austin. I think a lot of people have quite a few takeaways. This topic is just massive, and it's such a. We're exploring a lot of this with Google. We're taking it into YouTube, and Google is just one of those platforms that is absolutely endless. So, tell us about school. I know you plugged it a couple times. How people can get into school, what they need to do, how do they find it, what can they expect out of the platform. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, so we have a school program that we recently launched. Right now, we have it for the first 50 members. This is early adoption, $39 a month at that price. Prices will go up as we get more members. So, this is easily the best price that it will ever be. But basically, it's a place where like real estate agents are going to learn how to build lead generation and marketing systems that actually work for you. Corey and I, my business partner since 2016, we've been in the industry doing real estate marketing, and we've been able to coach over 2,500 real estate agents and service them as well. And we've managed over $5 million in ad spend, running over 5,000 campaigns for different real estate agents. So we wanted to create this school program to be able to really give you the opportunity to learn how to do all this yourselves, or you actually wouldn't even have to hire agencies like Dippidi. You would just have a kind of resource to be able to learn how to do this yourself and become a better real estate marketer, not just a salesperson. And so what you're getting is courses to learn SEO, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, a live weekly Q&A and strategy sessions, a community of marketing focused real estate agents, AI toolkits for agents. We have go high level funnel templates available for every single member, as well as a monthly ebook and lead generation campaign built for you that you just need to go take, rebrand, and distribute to generate leads monthly. That's our Dippidi Drops program. So what's sweet, it's $39 a month, but you get a 7-day free trial. So I definitely recommend get on the free trial. And then every Tuesday at 1:30, jump on the live session. I'll be hosting it where we do a strategy session, live Q&A, and we'll just depict and answer any questions you have in that moment, and then really be able to showcase and show more of like a done with you process if you have specific questions. So definitely do that. And then Brian, anybody interested in learning about your real estate team, how to operate under a team, your broker, Real Broker, if they're interested in learning about real brokerage or whatever it may be, what's the best way that you can help them out?
I'll drop in all our information below. Rebecca, my wife, also my boss lady, she's amazing.
Yes, she is.
She is probably one of the most incredible people, but that I know. She led the state of Florida for Real Broker for a few years and grew it from 150 agents and helped our agents scale that to over 2,500 agents in the state. And over the last few months, we decided to take a bit of a step back and really start giving back to the community. So we're helping put some content together like this, get some learning up and running, and put some events on. If you haven't been to any of our events, I'll let you guys know when the next one is. But really start to focus on agents' success, figuring out how to give them a path to success and their business. The real estate business is a fascinating business. There's so many aspects to it. And it could be so cool. And so many agents just aren't taking advantage of it and aren't successful because they don't have the right leadership or the right people around them to ask the right questions. So whether you're looking to move brokerages or you're trying to find a team or you just need a helping hand, that's what we're here for. We're going to give you guys good content. We're going to give you guys as many resources as we possibly can. Just reach out. Let's see how you fit in, if you fit into any part of our ecosystem. And if you don't, I'd be more than happy to just give you some good advice and help you get on your way to success in real estate.
I love it. Brian, till next time, man. Thank you.
See you next time.